Hey everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me online by going to Rumble and just type in rumble.com/Mark Parham and I should pop up. Also, you can follow me on X by going to x.com/Mark Parham_ and I should pop up there too. So one of the things I'm noticing in the news is that a lot of Democrats have Trump derangement syndrome. And it's what everybody's talking about online. It's what a lot of Republicans talk about. But what it basically is that no matter what Trump does, Democrats always find something wrong with a decision he's making or a policy he's wants to implement. Like they always find something wrong. And the one perfect example is you look at what's going on in the media with illegal immigration. I've noticed that most people with common sense would want illegals or people that aren't supposed to come here, migrants or whatever, that aren't supposed to be here. They don't want illegal immigrants, being in our communities. They don't want illegal immigrants being in our cities. Most people agree on that, especially if you've committed a violent crime and you've come across the border and you're trying to live in America. Most people want those folks out of the country. Well, you have Democrats who are sitting up and it's almost like they're pro-illegal immigrant. Like you see some of these Democrats and they, even though Trump is, cracking down, he's, using ICE to get these illegal immigrants out of the country. And you have Democrats who are sitting up and saying, oh, well, are these folks being discriminated against? And is this humane? And, why is he using military aircraft and all this other aircrafts and all this other stuff? And, my thing about it is at least somebody's taking the time to say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this to make America safe. And it's sad that the Democrats, but it doesn't shock me but it's like they're trying to find any thing to complain about. Like even if it's something that benefits Americans. And it's like a lot of these Democrats will sit back and they'll itch their head and say, oh, well, how did we lose the election when we ran Kamala Harris? This is one of the reasons why, because Democrats are tone deaf. Illegal immigration is a huge problem in America. And Donald Trump has been able to, at least try to address the problem. And I don't see why Democrats wouldn't support that. Like when you have somebody saying, you know what, we're going to make America safe for men and women and anybody else living in America to be able to walk the streets at night, to not have to worry about criminals. You have people in the media and you have some of these Democrats in the media and some of these Democrats that are in in Washington, D.C. that act like something's wrong with that. And I never thought we would get to the day where folks would be complaining about, oh, well, we shouldn't focus on illegal immigrants. And, I guess that not Donald Trump, but I guess that the Democrats think that, these people are going to vote for us. So if we're good to the illegal immigrants, if we give them free housing and free food and all this other stuff, they'll vote for us in the future. And my whole thing about this is that Democrats tried that strategy and it backfired. This whole, we have to pander to illegal immigrants. I guess the Democrats look at that as a vote of sort of, a group of people that are going to vote for them and swing different elections in, certain states. And my whole thing is that all the Democrats are doing, they're waking people up. They're having people look around and say, wait a minute, this is like evil. Like for folks to, care about criminals that are committing crimes that aren't even supposed to be here, to prioritize those people and say, oh, well, have they been treated the right way when they're detained and all this other stuff, to worry about those folks more than veterans on the street that are sleeping in tents begging for food doesn't make any sense. And so, again, it's sad to see the Democrats, things that make sense, they're tripping over themselves to just find some flaw in Donald Trump and what he's talking about or policy. They're almost making themselves look silly. And I think a lot of Americans are picking up on that too. And not even just the politicians, but some of these Democrats in the media. Some of these Democrats in the media, I think, what's her name? Caitlin Collins on CNN. I mean, she was making it sound like deporting illegal immigrants was a bad idea. Like she was talking to Tom Homan like, he was doing something bad. And so it just goes to show you how tone deaf a lot of these Democrats are. And, in my opinion, they can keep it up. They'll keep losing elections because now the American people are awake. Americans don't get all their news from CNN, MSNBC. Now we get our news from X. We get our news from Rumble. We get our news from a lot of these other social media platforms that, will actually, you see people on there telling the truth, or you see people debating each other. Like this whole, we're going to listen to somebody who gets paid $20 million a year to tell me the news isn't going to work anymore. And so that's why you see CNN and MSNBC, they're having problems with their finances because people don't trust these news agencies. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's almost like they never want to give Trump credit for anything. It's like everything he's doing is bad. Even the stuff that's good, they'll try to, do a whole hour or 30 minutes talking about, things that make sense. And so it's crazy to see this, but you would think Democrats would say, you know what, let's do what's best for the country, but they don't care. And so, no, Trump derangement syndrome, as funny as it sounds, it's real. And a lot of Democrats have it. And, people are seeing through, how corrupt some of these people in media are, because they weren't asking Joe Biden all these questions. I mean, Joe Biden hardly did interviews sometimes. Joe Biden hardly took any questions. Joe Biden would do a speech and get off the stage, or he'd do an interview for maybe 5 minutes and then he'd be gone. Trump's taking questions. Trump is flying here. He's going to this place. He's going to that state. He's worried about disaster relief. And Joe Biden, you could hardly get him to come on TV to answer any questions or to interact with, regular human beings. And so, again, I'm proud that Trump is the president right now. He has a lot of stamina. He's been flying everywhere. He's, it's almost like he's the Energizer Bunny. He has so much energy. I mean, whereas with Joe Biden, Joe Biden would probably be somewhere taking a nap somewhere. And so it's good to see a leader that actually, has energy. He cares about the American people. And, it's just good to see a real president, not someone who goes to a foreign country like Joe Biden did and, he's fallen asleep. We don't want somebody like that. So I support Donald Trump. I think he's doing an amazing job, this week. And again, America is going to go through an amazing transformation with Donald Trump in office. I think that, him signing these executive orders, I think it's an amazing idea because, he's taken these 4 years and he's saying, we got to do something. We can't wait. And so some people have been criticizing, oh, well, he's signing so many executive orders. But Trump is like, we got to hurry up and make things happen. And so I'm glad he's doing that. And, for all these folks with Trump derangement syndrome, it's very sad because if it's something where, it makes sense, like, he's trying to help Americans out, why be a hater and complain about it? Like, I think that some of these Democrats would do better saying, you know what? I don't agree with you and everything, but we can support each other when it comes to this. And so it's really sad. It's and I'm someone who was a former Democrat, but I voted for Donald Trump. I used to vote for the Democrats all the time, but I can't find any strength in my heart to vote for the Democrats probably ever again. I mean, especially, what they're doing. I mean, it's just like things that are common sense. They flip those things on their head and basically act like, oh my God, this is horrible. Donald Trump is an evil person. And it's just like, look at the job Joe Biden was doing. And one of the things I say to anybody online is that the Democrats are doing such a good job, then people wouldn't have selected Donald Trump. But again, the Democrats weren't. And so Democrats are all over the place, and it's a political party that's in decline. And even people who are, in their 30s, 20s, they're switching over. People in blue states are switching over to the Republican Party. Like everybody's switching over. Black people are waking up and saying, wait a minute, the Democrats have been, not doing their job. Asians, everybody is like switching over to the Republican Party, or at least being interested in it. And the Democrats don't see that they're losing a lot of people that normally would support them just by, not doing what's best for the American people. So again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, like I said, follow me on X, and then you can follow me on Rumble. Like I said, at Rumble, I'm on type in rumble.com/Mark Parham, and I'm there. You can on X, type in x.com/Mark Parham _, and I'm also there on X too. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know how you feel in the comment section. Thanks.